Hey, what's up everyone, and well, hope you all had a wonderful turkey or whatever you eat filled Thanksgiving. But obviously now that November's over and now that it's December, time to finally move on to Christmas or any other holiday that you celebrate. So to everybody else, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy whatever, happy holidays. And obviously to everybody like myself that celebrates Christmas, Merry Christmas. A wonderful, joyous time of the year with decorations, snow, and music, and specials, and movies, yeah. But this is not that I'm trying to be a Scrooge or a Grinch or anything, but obviously this list is for the worst. Yes, the 10 worst specials that I think of Christmas. Yes. This is a mishmash between TV shows and movies, so it's not specifically one or the other straight out. It's a mishmash similar to what I did with the Halloween specials. And keep in mind, people, this is not fact, it's strictly opinion, so don't go apeshit if you don't agree with me. I'm sure you all have your own opinions. And also, we're not including made-up holidays like Life Day, so Star Wars Holiday Special, you can consider yourself lucky. And also, if you see my list that I did a couple of years ago, back in 2013, those specials are not going to be on this list, so yes, these are the ones that I haven't included on this list. Just my opinion, people. So let's reach into the box full of lumps of coal and get out the worst. So here we go. Number 10. Four Christmases. Okay, obviously you probably heard of this one that came out in 2008, starring Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon, Mary Steenburgen, a bunch of other actors in this movie and actresses. But otherwise, yeah, it tries to be a comedy. It's trying to show a couple trying to celebrate Christmases, or 4 Christmases I should say, but it's just, yeah, it starts out with some humor, it gets its laughs, and don't get me wrong, Vince Vaughn is a funny guy. He was great in Wedding Crashers and Dodgeball and so forth, but then he's made some blunders and big mistakes over the year, aside from the remake of Psycho, which is obviously considered the worst horror film remake, but not to get too off track. This one is, aside from another Christmas movie that pretty much flopped too as well, check out my other list. And this one was pretty much a big mistake too as well. So, yeah, 4 Christmases. Just be glad you celebrate one, which is what I'm doing. Number 9. Merry friggin' Christmas. Yeah, the title should pretty much say a lot there, but who's in this? Robin Williams. Yes, it came out 2 years ago to be exact, and sadly it's one of his last movies before he passed away of suicide, and trust me, I was as devastated as anybody else was, because he was one of the funniest guys ever. I mean, hell, he's even proven himself versatile with 1 Hour Photo, and even though he's done some great comedies and films, he's also done a lot of lousy ones too as well, and quite frankly, this is definitely one of them. So, kind of sad seeing how this is one of the last movies he did, aside from the Third Night at the Museum movie. So, yeah, his humor doesn't shine through this movie, sadly, so do yourself a favor and avoid this friggin' Christmas movie, I should say. No offense, Robin Williams, I respect your acting and humor, but this is sadly not your best movie. Number 8. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Yeah, this is a direct-to-TV special, and yeah, I'm sure most of you probably are familiar with the song. It tries to take a little bit of twisted humor and make it an hour-and-a-half TV special out of it. So how do you really do that? Well, yeah, they got the joke down at the beginning, and then it just drifts off and becomes something that it really shouldn't. I mean, yeah, just watch the Nostalgia Critics review on this whole failure of a movie based off of a rather funny song, but I know some people don't like this song, and I enjoyed it for what it is, but this movie, on the other hand, not at all. Number 7. Home Alone 4, yes. A direct-to-DVD or direct-to-TV movie. Again, just like the third movie, no Macaulay Culkin, none of the original actors are in this, but the original characters are back. But does it really matter this time? I mean, the third movie did the damage already by pretty much alienating the entire franchise, and this one tries to make up for it, but what's the point? I mean, the damage is already done, so yeah, obviously the same burglars, or one burglar, Marv to be exact, even though he's not played by Daniel Stern. I mean, I know Macaulay Culkin pretty much went in his own way and did things that no kid should really do. I mean, now he's just, forget it. He's a good kid gone bad. And, well, this is more or less a good series gone bad, I should say. And I can't blame Daniel Stern for not liking this movie. I mean, who would? Yeah, he gets a girlfriend, he tries to get revenge against them, and he's the same idiot klutz burglar that pretty much falls for all his booby traps, while Kevin's obviously trying to get his parents back together while they're divorced. It's pretty ridiculous, and trust me, I could see why it was definitely directed TV. So, yes, and this one was so bad, they had to continue it with a fifth one, but don't even bother. Just watch the first two, that should be it. Number 6, Surviving Christmas. Yeah, Ben Affleck. We all know he's the new Dark Knight, and he surprised us a lot, and especially after the somewhat failure of Daredevil, and a couple other big flops, and this is definitely one of them, despite the fact that he's made some great films, and he's actually a really good director, but let's be honest here, this one is pretty ridiculous. I mean, the concept just sounds ridiculous. Trying to go back to his old home to celebrate Christmas, it's just ridiculous. Trust me. I don't have to say much here. You watched the movie, and if you liked it, I respect that, but honestly, I just really didn't. Number 5, We Wish You a Turtle Christmas. Oh boy, what the hell have I gotten myself into here? And yes, I know, both the AVGN and Nostalgia Critic reviewed this one. I don't think I have to say much more. Look at the turtles and see for yourself just how bad this is. Yeah, and it's only 20 minutes long. It's just a bunch of ridiculous musical numbers, and the turtles, I mean, God, what the hell? I know the Michael Bay version, the films he produced, I should say, not directed. Yeah, they look ugly too, but this is just, wow. Yeah, their jaws keep flapping, even when they're not talking, and they're always doing some kind of stereotypical accent or something, and it just goes on, and it's the 20 of the longest minutes of your life if you ever spend watching this friggin' thing, if you manage to get your hands on it. It's only obviously on videotape, and I have watched it on YouTube, and yeah, it's just as ridiculous as you can imagine. I mean, yes, even at the end they sing the 12 Days of Christmas in their own version. And not only do the turtles look bad, even Splinter himself looks bad. And they're trying to look for a gift, and they're just wandering around singing randomly. I mean, do I have to say much more? Again, just watch these reviews out of the Nostalgia Critic or AVGN. I don't have to say much more there. Number 4, Christmas with the Kranks. Yeah, Tim Allen. Known for the Santa Claus movies, even though I obviously prefer the first two. The third one, obviously, if you saw, was not my favorite, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree with me on that one. It's definitely the typical third movie, but this one, I have to say, is a lot worse. Trust me. I mean, first of all, they're trying to skip Christmas, then they don't put some stupid decoration outside, and everyone goes nuts about it. Freezing a cat, I mean, who calls this funny? How is this amusing? Even with Dan Aykroyd's appearance in this movie, you know, a huge role in it, it just doesn't help at all. I'm sorry, it's just not funny. Sorry to say, but Christmas with the Kranks is, well, it's better to be spent without them, I should say. Number 3, Jingle All the Way 2. Yeah, they had to make a sequel to the Schwarzenegger movie that I'm sure even he regretted doing, about buying a stupid toy for his kid. I know some people find that movie funny. It's the dumb kind of funny, but this is just beyond ridiculous. When I first heard about this, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, just like Kindergarten Cop 2. Without Schwarzenegger, is it even possible to be good? No, of course not. This time it's Larry the Cable Guy, and I wouldn't even recommend checking it out for yourself. It's just not worth it, and it's obviously direct to DVD for a reason, so yeah, I didn't like the first one, and I definitely did not like this one. Number 2, The Christmas Tree. Okay, this is often considered one of the worst Christmas movies ever made. Well, it's obviously only at number 2, that's because I have a much worse Christmas movie to put on this list, but yeah, be grateful this one made it this far on this list of horrible Christmas specials, and I don't have to say much more. Again, just check out the Nostalgia Critics review. It's just as bad as you can imagine. Alright, well, before I get to the number 1 spot, might as well do a little bit of honorable mentions, or in this case, dishonorable mentions. Yeah, a little Watch Mojo style here. Jack Frost, yes, not the old one, but the newer one that came out in the late 90s, starring Michael Keaton. Yes, Michael Keaton, the Mr. Mom / Cape Crusader, is in this crap. I mean, I know some people may have liked it, but honestly, I'm like the people who did not like this. I mean, it's just ridiculous looking. The concept is ridiculous. He plays music at a freaking concert that a little kid would listen to. I mean, come on, do I have to say much more there? I'll be home for Christmas. Yeah, I'm sure you will be, not in this stinker. I don't have to say much more there. I mean, it's about a kid who's trying to get home for the holidays from his college trip. I mean, it's not funny, trust me, it's just ridiculous. Elf Bowling, the movie. Yes, I already talked about the video game last year and how horrid that game was, despite some humor and being that it's a cheap game that you can just get online for free on the computer downloads, and obviously you don't want to waste 20 bucks on freaking buying the game for a handheld console. But yeah, you think that's enough? I did mention briefly that there's a movie, and that should have been included, but I take it back. This piece of crap is not even worth it. I mean, it's like the food fight of Christmas movies. Oh, you haven't seen that film? Then don't even bother. Trust me, it's probably almost as bad as that. And that's considered the worst animated movie ever made by most people, and this one is pretty much right behind it. Doug's Secret Christmas. Yes, from the Disney version. Obviously, I, included on Best Christmas Specials last year the Nickelodeon version of Doug, but I'm sure most people can agree the Nickelodeon version of Doug is the best. Once Disney took over, they pretty much shat on our childhood right there, and well, pretty much tainted it with this special, and not to mention the first movie, but not to get too carried away. Yeah, not worth it. I never even bothered with the show. Watched a few episodes, including this one, and I did not like it. And now the number one, in my opinion, the worst Christmas special ever made is, this is just my opinion, people, and I'm sure most of you can agree, A Christmas Story 2. Yes, they couldn't leave it alone. The Christmas classic that runs 24 hours a day on Christmas Eve night into Christmas Day just had to get a direct-to-DVD sequel. Do I have to say much more there? Direct-to-DVD. That's how bad it is. It was so bad they could not put it in theaters. None of the original actors, not that they would even want any part of this crap, are in this. You got Daniel Stern as the father, first of all, and he's just not funny like the original old man was. I mean, obviously Darren McGavin has passed away several years ago, and I'm sure he would be turning in his grave knowing that this kind of crap was released. And the concept is ridiculous. The narrator sounds like he's nervous, and he never shuts up for the most part. Yeah, it's about Ralphie trying to get a car, paying off a car or some crap. It's just, it tries to be too much like the first one. Not to mention, it just literally copies scene for scene. Just watch the movie on TV or something. Don't even bother wasting your money on buying this DVD or Blu-ray. It's just not even worth it. Nothing makes sense. It's just, why would they bother? God, you think Home Alone 4 and Jingle All the Way 2 is bad? This just puts it to the shame right there. Why? And yes, there is actually, or I should say, are two sequels to The Christmas Story. There's one, obviously, I think called My Summer Story. In other terms, it runs in the family with Mary Steenburgen as the mother, and one of the Culkin kids, I believe it was Kieran Culkin, as I think either Ralphie or Randy. And obviously the father's played by the guy from Midnight Run. So, and yeah, I know it's not as good as the first Christmas Story, but it's way better than this crap. I'm sure anything is. But, and there's another one where they go on a road trip. I forget what the hell it's called. But, yeah, bottom line, those are the ones to watch. Not this one. Just don't even bother. I don't have much to say there. Other than that, this is what you call a lump of coal under your tree right here. So, anyway, try not to let that dampen your holidays or any of these movies. And again, it's just my opinion, people, but until next time, happy holidays, everyone.